Welcome to this deep dive where we explore two monumental works in storytelling: Beowulf, the first epic of the Anglo-Saxon tradition, and Berserk, a modern manga series that redefines the classic hero's journey. Both works deal with timeless themes: heroism, violence, fate, and the monstrous forces that challenge humanity. While Beowulf is a tale of a hero defined by honor and duty, Berserk takes a darker, more tragic approach, focusing on a man's struggle against a predetermined fate. Let's dive into these epics and uncover how Berserk carries the legacy of Beowulf into the modern age. Beowulf is one of the most important literary works in the English-speaking world. Written in Old English, this epic poem is steeped in the tradition of oral storytelling. It centers around Beowulf, a hero of unmatched strength who defends the people of Denmark from the monster Grendel, later Grendel's vengeful mother. Beowulf's character is one of noble virtue, bravery, honor, and loyalty to his king. His actions are driven by a desire for glory, to cement his name in history, and to protect those who cannot defend themselves. But beyond the action and heroism, Beowulf raises questions about fate and the fleeting nature of life. The poem ends with Beowulf's death after a final battle with a dragon, emphasizing the inevitability of mortality even for the greatest of heroes. Berserk by Kentaro Miura is a modern reimagining of the epic hero's journey, but with a far darker twist. Its protagonist, Guts, is a character haunted by trauma, driven by revenge, and cursed by fate. Unlike Beowulf, whose battles represent the fight against external evil, Guts' journey is one of personal loss, violence, and a constant battle against destiny itself. Guts' struggles are visceral and personal, born from a corpse, raised by a mercenary band, and marked by the brand of sacrifice. He is driven by survival and the need to fight against the supernatural forces that pursue him. His journey is marked not by the search for glory, but by an unrelenting search for meaning, for freedom from the chains of fate. In both Beowulf and Berserk, monsters play a pivotal role, but they serve different purposes. Grendel in Beowulf is the manifestation of evil and chaos. A being that lives in the dark swamps, Grendel is isolated, a creature of the night, symbolizing external threat that must be defeated. Grendel's mother, too, represents vengeance and the cyclical nature of violence, one monster giving birth to another. In contrast, Berserk's monsters, the Apostles, represent a more complex idea. They are not merely evil for the sake of evil. They are corrupted humans, often tragic figures who have made deals with demonic forces. The Apostles are symbolic of the darkness within humanity, the primal urges and desires that can consume a person. In Beowulf, fate is an inescapable force. Beowulf's death is predestined, as are the fates of the characters around him. The poem doesn't dwell on fate's unfairness, but rather on how heroes face their fate with honor and bravery. In contrast, Berserk questions the very idea of fate. Guts is constantly defying the notion that his life is predestined. Marked by the brand of sacrifice, Guts fights against the demonic forces that chase him, challenging the idea that he is bound to die at the hands of evil. His journey is one of defiance, a refusal to accept what is written. In Beowulf, violence is glorified as a necessary tool for heroes to protect their people. It is the force that cements Beowulf's legacy, the first Berserker. However, violence in Berserk is depicted as destructive, both to the body and to the psyche. Guts is a victim of violence as much as he is its agent, and his bloody path is one marked by the trauma it inflicts. The consequences of violence in Berserk are seen not just in the immediate aftermath, but in the toll it takes on Guts' humanity. While Beowulf's victories bring glory and honor, Guts' violence leaves him scarred, physically and emotionally. Both characters embody the dual nature of violence, both as means to achieve their goals and as a force that ultimately consumes them. But you can see how much literature has matured. When Beowulf was announced as the first Berserker, people imagined that the results are always glory and honor. But as we get more civilized as a human race, when they wrote Guts as the last Berserker, they made sure to clarify that it comes at a price, a very steep one. The end of Beowulf's journey is marked by his death, and with it, the end of an era. He dies heroically, but his passing signifies the closing chapter of his civilization. In contrast, Guts' journey is ongoing. There is no clear resolution for him. His struggles continue, and his future remains uncertain. His legacy isn't defined by the battles he wins, but by his refusal to give in to despair. While Beowulf's story is a definitive statement on the hero's arc, Berserk leaves the hero's arc open-ended, illustrating the never-ending struggle between light and darkness. And again, it showcases the maturity of the human race and our literature, growing out of the naivety of thinking a hero lives and dies as a hero, and embracing the idea that the conflict is never-ending. Beowulf and Berserk may come from different times and different cultures, but their exploration of heroism, violence, fate, and humanity remains deeply relevant today. Whether it's Beowulf facing the end of his glory or Guts refusing to be bound by fate, these two topics remind us of the eternal struggle between light and darkness.